I really see things as going in a more futuristic direction with respect to racial identity, with when genetic engineering begins to become mainstreamed the same way the internet was. And I believe that that is going to make race it's going to change it from being an immutable characteristic. And many of the the tribal conflicts that are so endemic to ethnic conflicts throughout history are going to change in a very radical way once race is no longer an immutable characteristic. For example, it was only in our lifetime that gender stopped becoming an immutable characteristic. We are already at the early stages now of that happening with respect to race, and I think once it's not an immutable characteristic, a lot of these what many identitarians conceive of as sort of the necessity of racial identity is going to become fluid in a way I don't think people appreciate yet. And especially when you combine that with artificial intelligence and a lot of the changes that are going to happen in the next 20 to 40 years in tandem with the demographic changes. For that reason, among others, I take a very big tent philosophy to all of this stuff. Race, it's not an immutable characteristic. Race, it's not an immutable characteristic. Race, it's not an immutable characteristic. Race, it's not an immutable characteristic.
Race, it's not an immutable characteristic.